RacingRant's preview of Rosehill, part 2, the quaddie legs. As I mentioned before the before the break.
That was Dicko.
Dicko.
Beard's not big enough.
Dicko. No, not nearly big enough. And hopefully he's back in Melbourne because he's got to go to Moonee Valley tomorrow.
And the bloke's dancing down the street too.
I've seen a lot of dances in the last 24 hours. I don't know what's going on up there.
Jesus.
But they've been like jigging their way down the hill.
Yeah. Obviously a new drug dealer up there, is there?
There must be. Oh dear. Yeah, so Dicko at Moonee Valley. Now, he went to Moonee Valley, I think he did his first mounting yard mail for Moonee Valley 2 weeks ago, and it was his biggest ever day. I think the rail goes out to the 3-metre position there tomorrow, but I'm sure he'll be very, very excited about getting back to Moonee Valley. And as I mentioned, John McLeod has RacingRant at Ipswich for the eyeliner, the Ipswich Cup, the Gay Waterhouse, all those time-honoured races from Ipswich. He's been seeing them very well. In the last month, I reckon he's tipped 4 winners on each of the days. So RacingRant, yep, is RacingRant has been gold of late. Now, race, what are we up to? Race 6, the Kensai, 2,000 metres. We had the 1,800 metre lead up a fortnight ago, and the market reads $3.70 supply and demand. Next pick is $6 Toucan Chew, $7 So Willie, $8 Sultan of Swing, $9 Montauk, $9.50 Allegria, $16 Destiny's Kiss, $16 Singing, $19 Mighty Lucky. Now, supply and demand will get out there and attempt to lead. I wonder if Foreign Prince might, given that he's now on a wet track, be a little more urgent early doors with Deanne on board. That could make it interesting. Mighty Lucky posies up. Araldo Jr. is a long distance horse from Victoria, but races on speed. And I'm not sure what Sultan of Swing is going to do tomorrow because he had a history of going forward in New Zealand, raced forward in Brisbane, and then went all the way back over the 1,500 the other day. He's way up to the 2,000 here and hard in the market as well. I think this favourite has a question to answer tomorrow because obviously leading on a sympathetic track on the 7-day back up at 1,800 metres. Now it's a different surface. We've got horses that are more advanced in their preparation. I just think there could be a little bit more competitive, or maybe I'm looking too hard.
Yeah, you got to watch yourself sometimes. I have a tendency to do that, and I've done it in this race. I'm pretty keen on Toucan Chew. You know, I love when you've come from Melbourne, it's had the run in Sydney now. Yep. I actually think this is the style of horse that actually really suits a Tommy Berry style of riding. And there's a little 1 kilo weight turnaround there as well, hey? Got to throw that in.
Looked at that.
I wanted to make a joke about it. This guy just looked at it then like 30 seconds ago. Yeah.
I think it's more actually, just 2 kilos.
Oh, 2 kilos, there you go. Yeah, I'm actually pretty keen on this horse. It's run around in some proper races. It's third up this preparation, up to distance, back home, had the run in Sydney, lots of ticks there. And what price did you say?
$6.
Well, that's overs.
Yeah, it's easy to make a case for Toucan Chew tomorrow because he just looked like a horse with more to offer from his last start. It was a brilliant pipe opener over the 1,800. He's clearly going to be more effective at 2,000. And as I say, I think that the favourite is a touch hollow, just given the circumstances of the race the other day. See, I've overthunk this so hard, Gord, that I've done things like considered Montauk, who we're all hopelessly sick of.
Dead to me.
Yeah. But, a horse that, what did he do? J Ford Gate 1 the other day, and getting checked, and it's Karen from a wide gate. It's more seasoned than some of these other horses.
Yeah.
Whereas So Willie, well, see, I just wonder about these horses that look good when they're so well set up. Like So Willie had the 4th up, 7-day back up into the Randwick race, ridden perfectly by Jay Collar on that occasion. I'm sure these horses look better than they actually are. Mighty Lucky, I thought, was a really good run in that race. Maybe too good a run. Maybe that is a slight blight on the form because he he looked to be 3 wide, working, and got beaten less than 4 lengths. Foreign Prince disappeared out of the race, but has no form on anything other than wet tracks, so can be expected to at least be competitive tomorrow. But I thought an even race, and you know, your choice of top pick is more than reasonable. Race 7, 1100 metres, and didn't this send me round the twist? $5.50 Batter Hov, $7 is Pioneering, $7 Surplus, $8.50 Magic Alibi, first up, $9 Fickle Folly, $10 Prince Famous, sorry I missed $9.50 Secret Trail, $14 Francesco, who's also in the last, we've lost Zara Bay, and next best is Nerdy Rudy out at $23. So Prince Famous is your designated leader here. I'd suggest that Fickle Folly, up from 1,000 at Tamworth, will be right on speed. Rado has the capacity to be on speeds. Nerdy Rudy raced forward the other day, but probably tries to look for some sort of position, hopelessly. Badahov, not that far away. He's raced quite handy in his runs in the last 2 preparations. Lots of first uppers, lots of weird looking form in this race.
Yeah, when I first went over, I thought I won't be betting in this race, but I've actually got keener and keener on number 3, Badajoz. The Monster came out, crushed them next start. Kadiro ran all right. That form's kind of franked. And I just, you know, barrier 1 to barrier 9, just golden switch.
Yeah, it's a good looking switch.
And the trials just said to me, this horse is a new horse and ready to do something. And there was no knock on its last start, even though it came second. So, and I think that's a reasonably good price. I think they're actually going to come for this horse. The other one I was interested in was number 1 Prince Famous, but I reckon they might scratch it if it's wet. So. Yeah,
there's a definite possibility, but it is a Rosehill 1100 metre horse. My query with Badahov, everything you said about it is correct, apart from the fact that it's carried Jay Doyle and Jay McDonald, and it's carried serious riders, and it is a horse that has some interesting idiosyncratic traits, hanging out, laying out.
It's an interesting choice of jockey, isn't it? Because they would have had a choice, you know.
You would have thought so. Yeah,
I mean, if we're seeing Battlehouse with Brent Novdella on it, and I'm seeing $5.50. Yeah, I'm getting seriously excited.
Yeah. So I don't know why Atkins is on board. Pioneering is an interesting runner here. Dual Acceptor has preferred this race with Bowman on board. Secret Trail has some very good 1100 metre Rosehill runs, most notably in her last preparation. She's been okay in 2 runs back. She's obviously got a fitness edge now and just sits there. Surplus was pretty handy first up at 1100, albeit the midweek's last preparation, Gord, but he may have lost you after that, did he?
Who's that?
Surplus.
Yeah, no, I had a look at the trials and I just couldn't get over centre pivot running it down. You know,
look out for centre pivot, I tell you. You know, he scratched from the June Stakes the other day. I was looking for him in the June Stakes. Yeah, I know what you mean. You're not expecting him to get run down there. They came home in some good fractions there, so I don't know what that means.
So far, Surplus is. Look, I know it ran it's not run against top grade Saturday stuff, really, has it? You know.
Well, what is top grade stuff?
Saturday sort of wins the lottery. More like a Wednesday horse.
Badahov
hasn't done it. Badahov is off. Badahov does have it off the last start.
Yeah.
That's proper Saturday stuff.
Well, sort of. Those older horses. It's a bit like what I said with Kingsguard earlier. They can compete, but it's like playing with those. It's like playing tennis with Bobby Riggs, you know.
Who's like Bobby Riggs?
The hustler. They've got all the tricks, you know. But it's it's a different sort of competition.
Is that the Paul Newman movie? Have you seen that? Paul Newman?
No, The Hustler.
Tom Cruise, The Hustler.
No,
yeah,
I haven't seen
yeah.
it. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen many movies, Gord. But look, I think, yeah. Anyway, I'm sure Badahov will have an ISO Rich somewhere there in his form, as most horses do.
Yes, you've got to ignore that, you know? Like, when I first started seeing that, I was being hard on horses.
They'll all have ISO Rich in there.
I
Prince
know,
Famous will have ISO Rich. Badahov, Pioneering definitely, Secret Trail, Last Witness, Surplus, Magic Alibi, Rado, they'll all have ISO Rich in their form. I think it's a perplexing race, and I'm none the wiser. The penultimate over 1800 metres. Where do we start? Well, we've got a flashing light horse here, Karzov, who's $4 and favourite. He just had one run in Australia. $7 Collateral, flying for B. Baker. 9.5 is Thard, the 3-year-old, who, and then we're out to $11 Multifacets, number 1, $13 Springbok Flyer, his stablemate, 14 King's Officer, 14 Speed Hero, 14 Gamblers Blues, 16 More Than Fabulous. Next best would be 21 Brogue, 21 Bring Luck. Good speed here from Brogue, has been at least flying in up front, like working and racing well forward, and should lead here. Oakfield Midnight goes forward. Gamblers Blues may have to go forward from his gate, but it's a tricky start, the 1800. Multifacets would like to get on the speed. Springbok Flyer would like a position. More Than Fabulous won't give his position away. So I'd suggest that it's, with a capacity field over 1800 metres here, it's a solidly run race. Was there anything that caught your eye, or did you want to proceed to the last?
Well, the two that I had a second look at were the Spruik horse, Karzov, and the Collateral, which Baker just seems to be having, it's just flying at the moment, isn't it? Like to the eye, it's looking super impressive late. Won't be betting in the race.
Yeah, it's a, see, the thing about Karzov was that I watched him, you know, emerge the other day thinking, and then he just seemed to either die or run out of gas or dog it or whatever happened late, you know. But he, you know, Polaris Jack held him, which is okay, I suppose.
Life and Brown's come out.
Yeah, but Life of Brian was in an ordinary spot at Warwick Farm, whereas Polaris Jack and Karzov, I'd suggest, had good opportunity. But look, he's the new kid on the block. You know, you get these fields and you're just desperately scratching for anything new. Yeah. See, Collateral was treated as something new at Canterbury last week. It's like, you know, despite the fact that he's had 20 odd starts, he's only had 4 starts now for B. Baker.
Well, you can forget about you only have to worry about 4 of those starts. Done nothing wrong.
Did a good job last week, but also had the race run to suit, and Estic Raji was on his back, didn't cover himself with glory on Wednesday. Where else to look? Look, Multifacets appears to have returned well. Devil Hawk's been back to the trial since just doing nothing off a good trial first up, off a long spell. Springbok Flyer was amazingly hard in the betting, poked around there the other day. I just wonder whether he wants a firmer surface. King's Officer is obviously always a likely type in these sorts of races. Speed Hero had given no chance the other day, heavily backed in the 1500. More Than Fabulous, obviously a Weddy that's getting into his gear. Thard, I don't have a great opinion of this horse, but I suppose he's a 3-year-old that's just going to poke around there. Looks an even sort of race to me.
I'm sort of like hearing you talk about it now, just thinking, well, one of the two sort of new kids on the block, one of them's just got to win, don't they?
But it doesn't appear that either of them
I'm not betting, but
settle into the race. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's nice to be racing well from a back marker position. You know, it's nice to be in form, but you can never own the race.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, gaze horses, that's why gaze horses are so heavily backed at times, because they can actually own the race.
Yeah.
That's the penultimate, and we come to the nightcap. 4-year-olds and up, 1,350 metres. Leave me right out. $5 Wild and Famous. I sort of don't imagine it will start favourite, even though it's technically got the best form. $7.50 Invincible Knight, $7.50 Pick Me Up, $8.50 Pacaya Prince. Then we're $12 Francesco if he runs here, $14 All in the Reflexes if she runs here, $16 Regines, $21 Dream Lane, $21 Helensburgh Ham, $21 Oscar's Choice. I missed the Wendy Roach factor, Tartouche.
Oh,
$17 and the Gord Musselbrook clean-up, Snappy One.
Oh God,
at
what?
$16.
Yeah, not for me tomorrow. I see it's a dual acceptor as well, but at Newcastle.
Yeah, it doesn't have a rider at Newcastle, so I'd
okay.
suggest it's going to Rosehill. Yeah, there's.
I forgot to mention earlier on that Francesco, whatever race it runs, it might do something.
Yeah, you
that
liked
was
its
quite
trial,
a nice
didn't
trial. So,
first start from M. Newnham.
yeah, not normally my kind of go that change, but it was a nice trial.
Snowden to anyone else is not really, wouldn't be recommended.
No, I sort of stamped it down as 2 chances, which is number 1 Wild and Famous and number 2 Invincible Knight. Probably erring on the side of Wild and Famous. It's had 3 starts over 1200 now. It's up to 1350. I think that suits. I love the fact that it was so close to Bonnie O'Reilly in that race, although you know, maybe it was slightly complimented, but to get close to a horse like that I think is super positive. I think we've got the apprentice on it that is the best apprentice in Sydney at the moment, and is riding in really good form, so a few ticks there. I think it's a good chance. Sort of the track stats, they're not as bad as they seem. You can ignore those. And the other one that was unlucky last start is number 2 Invincible Knight. I think the market's already reacted to that, what was obviously unlucky. You've got Bowman on board right now, and I did have a little bit of an opinion of this sort of horse. It can look quite stylish late sometimes. I'm not sure, like, how unlucky are you saying it was last start?
Well, I was lucky in that it was in an advantageous position, and then it was a little bit unlucky. So
just a little bit, yeah, because some people have mentioned to me that they thought it was immoral.
Certainly beaten you.
Yeah,
right. Okay.
I don't think so. Yeah, so 1 and 2 are the only 2 I'm interested in, and maybe the one down the bottom there. What did I say? Francesco, long odds.
Francesco, yeah. Nothing doing race for mine, because the 3 form horses that ran 2nd, 3rd and 4th in the race won by First Hand a fortnight ago, they sort of Pick Me Up certainly had every conceivable. Wild and Famous perhaps could have done better had he taken Pick Me Up's spot, but he's now in flatlining sort of position. Invincible Knight, obviously second up, has the scope, and the Bowman. What else is there? Dream Lane. I get sick of mentioning this horse, but she was in the 3 wide line in that race. So, and they're all out with her this time. Kaseki Danes had a stable change. Jimmy Lee.
Well, there you go. It's gonna be a famous horse for a long time, Kaseki Dane, isn't it? Purely because it's the one that won the lottery.
Up and rolling. The other thing is, you listen to Darren's call and he goes, "Oh, now Kaseki Dane gets into another gear and races away." They came home in 40 seconds. Very, very funny. Helensburgh Ham will be labelled urgent here. Radical Impact will get well forward, as will Regines. They're not very inspiring horses. Whereas should all in the Reflexes run in this race, she's going to be up on the speed with those horses and should be considered. That's number 19, All in the Reflexes. And it will be interesting to see if there's any money for Tartouche, given what Wendy Roach has managed to achieve in the last few months. 1100 at Gosford. I know you were tipping this horse at Warwick Farm, the first up last preparation, Gord. Sorry to hold you to that one. Yeah. So interesting. And any opinion on the pen job? Gun, Pacaya Prince. Looks like it was put out of play the other day. Normally races up on the speed.
What number is it?
14. John McArdle, trained at Mornington. Won at the Bull over the carnival. That's a wet track credential for you.
I tell you what, no wonder I didn't remember it. I would have looked at it for about 3 seconds and put the biggest texture through it you've ever seen in your life. There you go. Yeah, I mean, not only is it coming off Victorian stuff, but it's not even city stuff. Saturday city stuff. No interest.
Right, that's it. You've heard it from Gord there. I have to say the Pacaya Prince is a chance in this race, but has been marked accordingly. That's the end of a lot of horses at Rosehill, but I think the
61 pages.
The place to concentrate is the front half of the
I had to staple it in 3 segments.
front half of the card. Yeah, what are you saying? You're saying...
keen on a few things. So keen on Hoolalai, keen on Arbiat Sam, keen on Zamex.
So the first three...
Keen on Test the World, keen on Moss and Dale.
Right.
Is that enough?
If we presume that number 1 will start favourite in the first, then that's the 5 favourites.
Yep.
There you go.
I don't think they are at the moment. Arbiat Sam isn't the favourite.
It will be the favourite. High Mist.
Okay.
High Mist.
Well, it's now for our customers. You know, Coolalai's not the favourite. Second favourite.
Oh, now that you've tipped it, it will be.
Second favourite. Second favourite. Favourite.
Test the World.
Test the World.
I don't know if it's it's equal favourite at the moment. Moss and Dale definitely pronounced favourite.
Yeah. My kind of day.
Well, it's your kind of day, provided they
lob.
They play that way. Yeah. I'm going to suggest to you that my best will be on 2SM later today. Will be race 2, number 5, Bites Them, and I'm playing race 3, number 10, Mermaid.
No.
Now, don't forget to check out the Hearts Racing yearlings on offer, the Hinchinbrook filly with Chris Lees and the Reward for Effort colt with Darren Weir. Cheap to get into. The Hinchinbrook filly is $500 for the first 6 months, includes the expenses, and then it's $100 for each 6 months after that. So obviously it's a very small share, but it's...
Well, you can buy multiple ones if you want.
That's right. Well, the idea of small shares is you can get into many horses. The idea of, of shelling out a large amount for one horse is that if it's not happening, you're getting no action.
And by the way, if you're keen on the horse and you like it, well, buy 10 lots of 500.
Why not? Yeah. So that's heartsracing.com.au, and you'll be able to check out those 2 yearlings there. It's a very creditable operation. RacingRant's very pleased to be able to assist in the dissemination of shares in those 2 horses. Other than that, Gord, we'll be back with a rant on Monday, and I think G. Pollitt, he might have missed a few things lately that needs to catch up on.
Do we have to mention the fact that the bloke was missing a leg? Seriously?
Oh,
I think that has to be.
That'll be a correction on Monday.
On Monday, okay. Because I'm
show.
looking forward to this. That's going to be gold.
Yeah. So watch this space. The rant on Monday will be carrying a big correction in relation to last Monday's rant. So we'll catch you then.
See you guys.